Welcome back, guys. Another quick one today. As the weather's up here, it's turning pretty much to crap. And I've been asked by a lot of people to do a lot of different videos and different things, from gear to lures to rigs to all sorts of things, how, when, where. So I've got a lot of videos to make. So saying that, you're gonna see a lot of me sitting here in my little room, doing a bit of talking on gear. And when I can get out fishing, I will get out fishing. And I've got a new trailer coming for the boat, so that means I'll be able to tow further and go explore, and hopefully catch a lot of other fish, because my boat's quite small for offshore, so I've got to really pick the weather for that, so it's very hard. But if the weather up here is windy, I got the small boat. If I've got a new trailer, I can go venturing to like Lake Tinaroo, chasing barra, through Cairns Inlets. I can go north and just fish up a few rivers, and it should be good, guys. I should be able to do some more fishing for you once I start venturing. Well, enough of that. Let's just get into this one. This one is going to be a quick, simple one as well. I've been asked, because I've done a couple of other videos on Red Emperor. One gentleman just asked me to quickly, basically, just show him what sort of rigs work best for reds. Okay? So this is going to be a quick, easy video. Just a couple of rigs for Red Emperor. Alright, we'll get into it. A few days ago I done one, and I showed you a rig with a sinker on the bottom, one hook. It's for high current. So basically I've got the same rig here, pretty much the same rig. So what we've got is it's just a swivel here. So that goes to your rod, that's your main line. Okay. Then we've got a swivel. Then we've got about 1 metre of line down to a hook. That can be a circle hook, octopus hook. You can put a bead and stuff on it and dress it up if you want, that's up to you. But just down to the hook. But with this one, there's no running sinker. What I've got is the swivel here, and what we've got is just like another 25 pound trace here, and that goes down to like an 8 ounce, 10 ounce, 12 ounce, depending on the depth you're going to be chasing the reds and the current. Okay, so basically that can be a breakaway, but that's fixed to the swivel, so that's your rig. In a bit of current, out deeper water, you just drop that down with a nice cuttlefish or squid with a bit of pilly or something on there. Okay, wafting in the current. That's a good basic rig for reds. Okay, it is very simple to make. That one, if I'm going to use that one for reds, that one I'll be using when the current's quite fast, or if I'm drifting over a lot of ground looking for them and doing a bit of drifting. Okay, I'd have a bigger sinker like that and just go drifting, or if there's a lot of current, put that one down so it doesn't bounce past them and take off and float up in the current. If we're fishing in lighter currents, okay, and we can spot lock or anchor near them and drop the baits down and slowly bounce them back, or some guys like the spot locks pretty much straight on top. Then we go back to stock standard, guys. Very basic paternoster rig. You can either run 2-hook paternoster or a 1-hook, that's going to be your personal choice. I usually start off with 2, but if I start losing a bit of gear on reef or to sharks and stuff, you start going through the gear, drop it back to 1 hook. Okay, so with that one, you just run a paternoster. So basically, you just got a swivel at one end where you tie to your main line. You got your dropper, first dropper. I usually do my droppers about an arm length away from the swivel, from each other, and from the sinker. So the whole rig's basically an arm length between each hook and the sinker. So arm length, then got my first dropper. Now when we're running paternosters, most of it is when we're chasing reds and nannies out wide, we use circles. They're an 8A circle hook. Okay? So we've got an 8A circle hook there. And then we go basically another arm length. There's your second hook. Okay? Very simple. Then another arm length, and then you've got your loop, and that can have your 10 ounce, 12 ounce, 14 ounce sinker, whatever size sinker you need for the current and the depth you're fishing in. Okay? And a very basic paternoster rig with some squid, cuttlefish, pilchards, flesh baits, whatever you find. Reds will eat a variety of baits. I like my cuttlefish because it's hard to get off for the pickers. You put a bit of pilly on there, and that seems, the pickers come in, pull the pilly apart, acts like a bit of belly, and then the cuttlefish is left there, and the reds come in and eat the cuttlefish, so that works well. Okay, so I like cuttlefish. And with this rig, you can also dress it up if you want. I have seen guys, they do put limo tube on there. and beads and feathers and all sorts of stuff. It doesn't worry the reds or the nanagai. They'll eat it with or without the limo tube. And beads, that depends if you want to dress it up or not. I prefer not to dress it up because, like I said, you're fishing fairly hard ground at times. If you're out in the paddock on flat grounds and you're drifting around or anchored and you're not losing too much to the reef, which is great, the sharks are probably there. So one way or another, you're going to lose gear, and you lose quite a bit. So my theory is now, fishing up here, less is best. So I want to start off with 2 hooks on a paternoster rig, and if I start losing a bit of gear, I'll go down to one, just a one single hook, okay? And I don't worry about dressing it up with all the stuff. It's just more stuff to put in the water and lose and cost you more money. So paternoster, start off with 2 hooks, and if you start losing gear, guys, drop down to 1. But like I said, dressing it up with limo tubes and all that stuff, that's up to you. But that's it. That's all there really is to red emperor fishing. It's just a paternoster rig, 2 hook, or this one here, which is basically a paternoster, but it's sort of a fixed one. Sinker's fixed there, you got your swivel in the middle, and about a metre trace. This one's really good in really high currents. And I'll prefer me paternoster, this one here, if I'm anchored, when the current's not so fast, I'm anchored up away from the bread so you don't spook them. And I like to use a paternoster one, the smaller sinker, like an 8 or a 10 ounce, and just bounce it back slowly towards the school. That seems to work well. My gear of choice for them, I'll just show you a leader. That's just a Tiagra leader. It's 80 pound, so I just use an 80 pound Tiagra leader. I just find it a good all round leader. I don't like going up to 100. 100's a lot harder to break if you hook it on the reef, or if you hook a shark and with the circles in the corner of the mouth or something, it's very hard to break off. 80 pounds, very hard to break. It is really hard to break, but you can break it when you need to. Reds don't generally break it. It's usually sharks on the bottom, but 80 pound, and it's quite thin, so I don't mind the 80, and it's easy to tie. And once again, my hooks of choice, if I'm going to do this, I still run them BKK. They are an inline circle. Actually, no, they're not inline. They're an offset circle. Sorry. Oops. The other hooks I did are inline. These are offset circles, so these are slightly curved offset. They're offset hook circles, and they seem to do the job for me out in the reef. They're quite a good hook. Okay. And I like my BKK. It's very sharp, very strong. And well, that's it, guys. There's nothing else to it. The sinkers, doesn't matter what brand sinker it is, it's a sinker. Swivels, if you're going to use a swivel on the other end to tie to your main line, just make sure it's a good rolling swivel. Just a good quality, just don't go too cheap. And generally, I always go black. I don't like going the brass ones or anything shiny, because plenty of fish down there have got teeth, and into the shiny, they come past and snip it off. So usually I'll go black if I'm running a swivel. But most of the time, I'm just tying my leaders, this line straight to the braid with an FG knot or something. And if I'm in a hurry, I'll use an Albright. If you tie a proper Albright knot, it will hold. They are a very good knot. Okay. That's it. That's just a very quick, simple video, that one. Anyway, I'll see you again shortly in the next video. We'll be back here doing another one on something else. I'm just going to choose one out of a big list of videos I've got, and we'll do that one again. And in a couple of days, hopefully we'll do trailer or start venturing further out fishing. Until then, guys, catch you all later.